Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Get early access to all of our interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats with writer and comic book legend D.G. Chichester, new episodes of classic Capes and Lunatics shows, including The Quantum Zone, This, That, or the Third, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes, or go to patreon.com/CapesandLunatics. Hope to see you there. Look, up in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane, it's an electric mullet. Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Electric Mullet, a Superman podcast. Sticks very close to publishing order. Anyway, I am Phil. Joining me, as always, the internet's #1 source for all things Superman, it is Mr. Tyler Patrick.
Hello, everybody. Hey, speaking of electric, check this out. I haven't hung it up yet.
Oh, nice.
James got us a matching set.
Oh, did he get the red one? Nice.
Yeah, and he bought me the blue one. I just haven't hung it up yet, so it's chilling right there.
I've
got to rearrange some things.
I've never seen that anywhere, either out in the wild or online. I've never seen that.
I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I didn't think they printed out like a lot of like a wall art of Electric Superman. Huh.
I've always said with Electric Superman, and I will get there one day, to me the story would make more sense if it had been a side effect of coming back from the dead. Like if it had taken place shortly after he had come back.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I kind of wish they would do something like, well, I mean, they kind of did. I need to reread the Rebirth Superwoman stuff, but they kind of redid it differently. But yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we'll get there eventually, but yeah, that's just I don't know. It's kind of fuzzy the way they did that whole thing. All right, but this time, yes, we're continuing on. This time we are covering Adventures of Superman 446 and Superman number 24 with, yes, the return of Rampage and a new Gangbuster. What? All right, so. All right, I'll do the short and sweet synopses what we have for these issues. So.
The short, which one are we doing first?
We'll do it. I think Adventures comes first. Yeah.
He's like the short synopsis. New Gangbuster. All right, moving on.
That's pretty. That's all. It's not too much shorter than what they actually have here. All right. So yeah, we'll start with Adventures of Superman 446 from November 1988. First steps. Writer and penciler Jerry Ordway, inker Dennis Jank, colorist Petra Skodish, letterer Albert de Guzman, and editors Mike Carlin and Renee Witterstatter. All right, it's far. See, that's how short it is. That's how hard it was hard for me to find the synopsis. All right, Metropolis is shocked by the return of Gangbuster. So see, you were close. You were so close on that synopsis.
I know. I tried.
All right, so doesn't even scratch the surface of this issue. I mean, again, Gangbuster really doesn't show up till like the end of the issue.
Yeah, definitely misleading cover, I'd say.
I know. The synopsis, the cover, yeah, very misleading. All right, so. And yes, kids, this is not on the DC Finite app, so yes, I had to pull my floppy up. All right, so.
And by floppy, you don't mean an A drive, do you?
Oh, no. No.
Oh. I feel like, what's an A drive, old man? I'm going to tell you about it, kids.
I know our children are like, wait, you had to put something in something to do something? What?
Yeah. It wasn't just on a server or
the cloud? Yeah.
No. See, kids, they had these things called discs. Then they had thumb drives.
You didn't just stream
external drives. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I had a fun conversation yesterday with Sayla about what's a VHS. Which is fine. I mean, she's too young, you know what I'm saying? So, like, it was a good educational time.
I had a conversation with Luca the other day. I had to explain what a CD was. It's like, oh, it was kind of like a DVD or a Blu-ray, but it was just music, you know?
Stings.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, yes, this issue starts with Clark having a dream. Well, first about in his childhood with Lana, which...
Okay, so this part right here, do you think this like an act like I'm trying to figure out like this Clark comes off kind of sleazy in this as a little kid. I don't know if it's just the way I read it and the way they drew him, but it doesn't sound as like kind of childish fun. It kind of sounds like, I don't know, kind of sleazy and like Clark's mean and And he's like, I just wish she was dead. Like, that's hardcore.
Yeah, but again, I think it works into the dream too, because it's like, oh, I wish she was dead. You know, wish this, what was it, a teacher or the principal? I wish she was dead, and then she ends up dying. Yeah.
Yeah. And then it's, there's Supergirl there, and I was like, wait, what? General Traffic Guard?
Oh!
I mean, it's the worst look of Zod, period. He looks like Lex Luthor's uncle directing traffic at a school crosswalk.
He looks like a communist.
Yeah.
I know. I mean, I guess that maybe they didn't put much thought into it because he wasn't going to be around long, but...
I was listening to some people talk the other day, and it's like, General Zod wasn't that big of a deal character until Superman the movie. And after that, he really raised in ranks to become Zod.
Oh, yeah, the great Terrence Stamp. Come on.
I prefer the Chancellor Valorum, but whatever. Too unable to stop the Empire before the Empire was formed.
You were there before Zod! Planet Houston, come on.
I like Clark destroying his apartment.
Oh yeah, it's gonna stay that way for a while.
Fighting ghosts.
Mm-hmm. Yes, because he has all of a sudden in the dream, the dead principal or whatever, he has turned into Zod, saying, "You killed her. You killed us all." As Supergirl standing there, and then when he seems to wake up, it seems like he's seeing the ghosts of the three, Phantom Zone criminals, and like you said, he's basically just tearing the apartment apart. And he'll stay there for a while.
One thing I really liked about this issue was the different times we see Clark Kent, he's in different outfits.
Yeah, he's not wearing a suit every time.
Yeah, you know how they'll pick an outfit and that's kind of like their generic default. Like he's in distinctively different clothes each time he's Clark.
Yeah. So yeah, I love the neighbors like, "Oh, what? Are you all right?" And he's like, "Oh, I was just moving some furniture."
She's like, "Okay, well you're too nice. Where is it? Oh well, if you say so. It's just that a nice man like you, ... Well, I'd hate to see anything bad happen, that's all. What do you think he's doing? Like, punch drunk, dancing his anger out?
Unless she thought he was getting attacked in there. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Because you would think, just from the dialogue, you think he's probably being kind of loud. Well, I don't know if it's a full-on yell, but, he's probably being kind of loud.
And then we have...
And then, all right, you know what I wanted to bring up? I think it's here.
Sure.
They said something, these phantoms or whatever are basically saying, "Oh, you could have dropped us back into the Phantom Zone." No, he couldn't. He said in that issue he could not fix the Phantom Zone projector, or else that would have been his move.
It's just his consciousness talking to him, making him feel bad for everything.
Yeah, kids. See, I kind of like this where it's just like, oh yeah, Superman killed these criminals, and it's not like, oh, we just moved on and forgot the whole thing now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that they're letting him weigh on him and being heavy compared to just brushing it over. He's
not like one of those guys who just can go out and kill somebody and, he's not Deathstroke.
Come home and have some...
Yeah.
Yeah, he just goes out, kills some guys, come home and has some pancakes.
Yeah, exactly. No. Yeah, no, it's actually weighing on him. Yeah. And again, it's going to weigh on him more for a while here. And then we see Jose go into, what is that, the ARC lab, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I like how the cab guy driver looks like he's winking at us as he's walking away.
Because he got that 50-cent tip.
He's like, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and I'm assuming this is the first appearance. Yes, Jose is met by Dr. Happerson. Yes.
Mr. Don't wait for the car we sent. Why on earth didn't you wait for the car we sent to pick you up? Yeah, that's interesting. Then we cut to these people. Well, it's
Morgan Edge, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and then there's something about voodoo and witchcraft, which we'll get to in a few weeks here, kids.
Yeah, Maggie Sawyer looking different than how we saw her last.
Well, again, we know from book to book, people's looks change. Just ask Lois.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then we see this guy on TV who's a bad guy, but then we see that he's getting a phone call. It's like, hey.
Oh yeah, Maxwell Carter. Yeah.
I was like, of course he's.
Yes.
And then my favorite part right here is my man Jimmy trying to talk to his mom and Perry while getting talked to with Lois around.
That's some shit.
I'm just like, come on, Jimmy, you gotta tell your mom, lay off.
Well, that was mom. Don't you ever call me Chief.
And then we got Clark in his black shirt, purple tie, and some green pants.
Yeah.
And then, okay, I laughed way too hard at this. The panel I love what the chief says right here in the panel, okay? Because he says, there goes a guy who looks like he's carrying the weight of the world on his shoulders. It's like Cat Grant, Lois Lane, Lois Olson, and Kent. Everyone's troubled. Kent surprises is the surprise. He always seems so perfect. Well, like if you look at the panel right above it, and then you look at the one below, we don't see Clark pick up a jacket. It kind of looks like he's carrying his pants on his shoulder. Okay. Like, because you just see the green pants.
Yeah, because it's the
black
same color. Yeah.
But then you get to like the bottom, you see him like with the pants. And he's probably carrying a jacket when he gets off the elevator.
Yeah.
But I was just reading through there, and I was like, did Clark take his pants off? What's going on here? Clark?
Sorry, Perry. I had a bad night. I couldn't tell. You're carrying your pants on your shoulder instead of on your legs.
Oh man. And then we see the beer truck that's supposed to be carrying the weapons.
Yeah, that was kind of the whole Morgan Edge call. Yes, he's talking to that Max Carter. And so him and a bunch of... He tells Carter and like two other guys, I guess, lets them know that Lex is shipping out some of his old outdated weaponry in this beer truck.
Mm-hmm. I thought it was kind of funny. This, smart, Some good shots of like Superman coming into action, and then these guys in old Lex Luthor suits, and then we have the fun panel of all these people like complaining, and then one person's like, "Would you guys just listen to yourselves a sec? Superman saved our bacon more times than you can count, so count me in on his side." Everyone else is complaining about their car, the insurance, the trouble. Morgan Edge says Superman was trouble, blah, blah, blah. My insurance company is not going to... So.
And Superman's basically trying to save these guys, too, because he says, Luthor doesn't use these suits for his guys anymore because, basically use these suits too long, he basically fries your brain.
And then we get... we meet somebody else here.
Oh, well, first we see, before the big battle, Jose is they kind of hooked up to all these machines, and he's kind of walking again, and
I got excited about the battle.
Yeah, but meanwhile, as Happerson's like running him through this thing, we see Lex watching, so of course.
And he's like, I could wear this gizmo home. And he's like, you're joking, of course. But we do have smaller systems that perform the same function.
I love, what about those, talking about the camera. The eyes of the medical world are upon us. No, it's Lex.
We're just so used to cameras being everywhere for stuff. We're just like, okay.
Mm-hmm. But no, after the big fight, Superman takes those guys down, rips them out of the armor, and Dan Turpin's there. He says, I don't know, he says, I've seen him more aggressive before, I'll say that. It almost seemed like he's holding back a bit today. Like he was afraid to really cut loose.
Dan Turpin looks like he just stepped out of, like, Dick Tracy.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real. Like, I was just kind of expecting him to be like, or I don't know, like flipping a coin, smoking a cigarette.
I think it's that derby or whatever he's wearing, yeah.
Yeah, it's I don't know, it's not really working for him, but it kind of is. But and then that night.
Oh yeah. Okay, but yeah, they capture two of the guys. Oh yeah, Max Carter does get away because he will be back, kids. But yeah, that night at the beer factory, I guess, where Lex ships out his old equipment. Yep, we see a shadowy figure attacking the employees who are armed to the teeth.
It's pretty intense.
Basically.
And then when we get back to the Daily Planet, once again here Lois is with her red hair. But look, Clark's in a completely different outfit. See what I'm saying? Perry's in it like got a moon tie.
Yeah, but is that the next day?
I think so.
Because the whole thing, and again, kids, the shadowy figure, yes, it appears to be Gangbuster. So doesn't that look like that's at night? So I'm assuming this is the next morning or something.
I would say so. He told Clark at the beginning to take the rest of that day off, and he leaves. He saves everything. Then that night is the Gangbuster, and then
because the Gangbuster scene at the beginning, it says that night. So, but yeah, Perry wants that. It is like not quite yelling at Clark and Lois, but it's like, how do we get scooped on this one? Because yes, the Metropolis Daily News has a big headline: Gangbuster's back. So, or is he?
Well, we won't find out this week, will we? Nope.
No, we're going to find out, what is that? It's like Superman 27 going into Adventures 450? Do you know the secret of Gangbuster, Tyler?
I do.
No, nice.
But we won't spoil it in case anyone's, listening who hasn't read it.
I want to know what he says to that Lex's guy in that last panel there, where he's like, "Tell them I know there's a mole in this place supplying information to the highest bidder," and then tell them, and then you can't see what he says, just a bunch of squiggly lines. So it's like, I wonder what he said.
He said, "Freedom." That's what it was. That's what it was, Phil.
Yeah. All right. So what did you think of this?
This week, I liked both episodes, or both issues, not episodes. I actually really enjoyed both issues this week.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't understand why, like, this issue and the next couple Adventures issues, like, aren't on the app, but the Superman ones are of the exact same months.
It doesn't make sense. Yeah, it just does not make sense. But like we said, I mean, basically the highlights, that Clark's still beating himself up about the whole Phantom Zone criminal thing, and it was such a weird the way they did that death, but yeah, he's wrestling with it.
I know. I'm still so curious. Would Byrne have gone this direction if he had stayed or not, or did they do that just to be like, let's maybe there were other people who weren't quite on board with that killing thing, and they're just like, well, let's show that this he didn't have the easiest, he didn't just was able to do it, and no muss, no fuss.
Yeah, it wasn't like Superman. He didn't walk away without his guilt.
Yeah, and it probably don't help. He can't even talk to anybody, but he can't. He seems like he can't even tell Ma and Pa about it. So that's not helping matters. That he can't. He's not telling anybody about this.
Man, I'm just looking at the next comic here. I'm talking about annual subscription rate of $9.
Oh, I know.
Outside the U.S., $11.
I know. I mean, if you look at the original price on these issues, 75 cents. Can you imagine? I can't remember. I was either telling Lilith or Justin. I was like, if comics were like a 75 cents or $1, like when I started, man, I'd roll into that comic shop anymore and be like, give me one of everything this week. Almost.
Yeah. Just give me the DC line.
Yeah, exactly.
Heyo, we got a heyo from the Daily Planet.
Oh, heyo, Daily Planet.
Oh, man.
How'd you miss that Gangbuster scoop?
I wish comics were still there. But hey, let's get to the next one so we can talk about this. All right, 75 cents. Beautiful. 3/4.
That's right.
And December of '88.
And at that point, they did not have tax on them. So yeah, that was a pure 75 cents. All you had to do is plunk down 3/4.
It's good old days.
I know.
When we could afford things.
Exactly. What, you mean like food? Okay.
What's that?
And again, yeah, comics want to know how they can get their numbers back up. Lower the price. Yeah, we used to sell. We sold like 1 million copies in the 90s. Well, yeah, that's when comics were $1 or $1.25.
I always liked what you said. Lower the price, go back to printing on newspaper.
Yes.
And it makes them more valuable because newspaper doesn't hold.
Yeah.
And now everything's about this pristine paper, and make them more. I'd still be broke at those prices. I just have way more.
Oh yeah, I know, me too. But yeah, at least you'd be happier with more comics.
It's like, do you remember when they did those? I was during the New 52 and they did the Villain Month and they had like the special covers.
Yeah,
and they were like $1 more. I had like three books, and they're all the special covers. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna get the regular covers because then I can buy another book.
You know what I think?
The guy's like, you sure you don't want these covers? I'm like, no, I don't. I just want to read the book.
And you know what else they did too? I think they put out the special covers. Like, did they put them out like a week before the normal cover? So it was just like,
I don't remember when I got to the shop.
Okay.
It was.
I thought it was something like they put the more expensive covers out earlier. So it's like, you can read it now, or could save your money and read it in a week. It's like,
yeah, I was like, no, I'm just gonna buy the extra book instead of these special covers.
Holding the line at $2.99, indeed.
They're like $2.99. That's be 10 pages.
Well, that's what me and Lilith are always wondering about. It's like, if you look at Todd McFarlane and any of his Spawn books, they're still $2.99. We're like, what kind of devil's deal did Todd McFarlane make? He's still putting out comics at $2.99. No one else is doing that. Unless it's like like a special deal with a Canadian printer or something.
Well, I mean, he's the one writing and doing everything, so he doesn't have to pay people.
He does have no. He does have a few writers on, because there's a bunch of Spawn books now. So I mean, yeah, he's not doing everything, but he's got something going on. Oh, I bet Visa both of your rooms. Thank you.
Yep. Getting a little bit of a different angle of mine tonight. You can kind of see a little bit more. I need to get like a 360 like camera. Just
I know that's what I've always wanted. Is like, I don't think StreamYard even lets you do that. If you put up like a second camera, which would be like, oh look, here's this. Here, let me show you this other side.
I need to just get it. I want to buy a camera that's not my monitor, so that I can turn it and adjust it and like take it off and like kind of hold it. And,
you mean like that?
Yeah, like it's not just my built-in one.
Yeah, that's yeah. It. I know. To me, at least, it looks better. So when at least on mine, and that's the thing. Anytime, like I try not to get anything new anymore because it's like I always want everything on camera, but it's like, how can I fit everything in this little section over here?
Mm-hmm.
I'm almost tempted to get another bookcase.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out how to rearrange some stuff earlier. I was like, what can I do? And I'm like,
And again, like I'm in a small rectangular room. If I go too far, I'm going to get a door over here where everyone comes in. And
yep, I've been in that room a long time ago.
Yeah. All right. So some young man wanted to get to this next issue. Let's get to this next issue. All right, Superman, Volume 2, number 24, from December 1988, Power Politics. Our new writer, Roger Stern, pencil, I believe, is this new first issue for new penciler, Carrie Gamble, inker John Beatty, colors Petra Scottish, letterer John Costanza, and editors Mike Carlin and Renee Witterstatter. Nice. Moving suits by Little
Nice.
Daily Planet.
I can't wait to see. Every time I see something from the Daily Planet, like merchandise, I'm just thinking about like, they need it. Zach needs it. He needs to put it in his bullpen.
Oh, nice.
I don't know why Zach, if you're out there, you just need to cosplay as Perry White. Okay. You just need to like go somewhere and just like with a cigar and everything, like old school Perry White, yelling "Great Caesar's Ghost." And just shaking like a newspaper at people, like hold it in your hand and be like, "Brent's not dead."
Oh, nice.
It'd be awesome. And then find you some like young kid to be like, "Gee Willikers, Chief." Like, get to work, Olson.
No, call me Chief. All right. I got another big synopsis here. All right. Rampage goes after a senator who tries to capitalize on Superman's fame.
Okay. Not even like, wasn't it's not, yes, exactly.
Not even like, how was Rampage back?
Yeah, not even like Rampage is back. Did I miss something? Nope, but somehow, yeah.
But yes, all right. So how does Rampage back? Yes, well, this one opens up. We see Kitty Faulkner in the hospital. It seems, guess she's dying from all the energy she took when she first became Rampage in Superman 7. That's
what I believed, and like we have this guy showing up. I agree. I think Rampage would be an interesting character to bring back. Mm-hmm. There are so many issues that we've read that would make just great one-off animated series episodes. Yeah. Like just the villain, like Rampage, for example. Like, this would be a great, like the first one, and then like, like 4 or 5 or so episodes later, you do this one kind of based off. Like it's just a kind of a interesting, fun character, especially where this ends.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's the thing. It's like, that's what always gets me about, especially like live action or like even like the animated. It's like, yeah, Lex is great, Brainiac's great, Doomsday, but it's like we always seem to go to the same well. Zod. It's like there's so Superman has so many more characters to pull from.
I just feel like that's why we need like I love my adventures with Superman.
Yeah,
but I really would have like just another animated series, much in the vein of Superman animated series, where it's not as tightly connected writing, and it's like more episodes to where you can do these type of characters and you can bring in more villains that aren't the big names that everybody wants to see, but you can do an episode that has Rampage.
Print is not dead.
Oh no, it's alive. I write all the time.
He also says, I really enjoy Rampage. Needs more love. Yes, definitely. I was gonna say I can't remember last time we've seen Rampage. Yeah, so basically, Perry's. She basically Kitty's telling Perry what's going on, and
she's losing everything. And then whereas I'm trying to find out, I don't know if it's here or if it's later, where she talks about she lost her job, her health insurance, everything. Oh, here it is. You may not be helping me much longer. My medical insurance has run out too. It doesn't leave me many, Sally. This note wasn't put. Yeah, she's just everything. Because she says my subscription of Life magazine has run out. Suppose it doesn't matter much.
But then, yeah, that doctor was Moyers who was responsible for turning her into Rampage the first time. Shows up. He's like, oh,
I missed this little 1 week later part. I kind of glanced over it, and I just when you get to where Superman's flying, we see him. Okay, so it's a cement truck that looks like Polka Dot Man.
I know. I was like, wow, that's colorful.
I was like, oh, so Polka Dot Man, I guess. No, just some guy driving a cement truck that fell asleep.
I know. I forgot about this. I'm like, wait a minute. It's not like Toy Man or something. But no, it's just somebody's probably. I guess just the artist or colorist or someone having fun. But yeah.
And I love when Superman's checking on the guy he just pulled out and saved, the politician Senator Forrester, who just slips in and all of a sudden shaking his hand. Superman doesn't know what's going on and gets a picture and he's flying away. He's like, it's been a while since anyone tried using me for political purposes. I'll have to watch that. I don't want Superman seen as an endorsement of one candidate over another. I was like, that's good. I like that.
Yeah, especially since he's like, oh yeah, Forrest wouldn't be my choice anyway. But yeah. Remember when you could slide neutral in the politics, kids? You didn't have to pick a side.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know. I do like this. Yeah, when Superman saves because the driver has some kind of heart attack or seizure, and yeah, Superman has to stop the runaway cement truck, and then he basically giving them guys CPR, which yes, that image will pop up again like around Adventures 500. Or no, was it funeral or is it funeral for a friend? I don't know.
We'll get there.
Yes. Oh yeah, we'll get there.
No, because I always read those in trades. I haven't read them in single issues.
So yeah, Superman's flying back to the planet and changing it back into Clark. He's like, He's like, it's been a while since Clark Kent reminded the Daily Planet's readers of the power of their vote.
I do like these, the two pictures side by side of like Clark and then Superman.
Oh yeah.
But what I find most fascinating is Clark has blue eyes and Superman has shark eyes. Like, okay.
Oh, how great would that be? No, that's the ultimate trick. That's another thing for the glasses. That's another part of the disguise. If you look through the glass of those glasses, it makes his eyes look a different color than Superman's.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of like if you go watch Superman Returns. Like, there's scenes where they, like, digitally, like, enhance Brandon Routh's eyes. Like, it's really kind of unnerving a little bit. But, yeah.
Oh, no, that's fine. No, yeah, I'm curious to see what Gunn pulls out of his pocket for the Superman.
I like just making the reporter side of Clark important again and really digging into that. And gives us time to really be with a Clark character that's, Clark interacting with the world. So, because even in Superman and Lois, like, Clark interacts with his family and then some people, but he never has to be really like Clark, because a lot of times, Superman and Clark Kent don't interact with the same people.
Yeah, or it's like, Superman and Lois. Or it's like everyone he's close to kind of knows his identity now, so he really doesn't have to hide it.
Yeah. But yeah. But back to the comic where she wakes up.
Yeah. Well, first of all, Perry kind of tells him, that Kitty Faulkner's kind of gone, because he said he was trying to raise money for her, and he was told she checked out. There's no sign of her anywhere, and that's when Superman's checking her apartment, and everything's been moved out.
Well, yeah, it's been a week, man. It's slow.
But then Moyer said he could save her, but he hooks her up to this device and basically turns her into Rampage again.
Yep. I'm trying to figure out what his whole plan was, because, like, he's like, she wakes up angry, like, you'll pay for this. And he's like, good Lord, Kitty, no, get back. If you cannot control yourself, I will. Well, of course she's going to be pissed. Like,
I guess he thought she'd just be happy to say that he saved her life, kind of, but I don't know.
So over the next few days, is she the one doing the graffiti? That's what I want to know.
Maybe. I mean, you would think, I guess Moyers is telling her to do that, I guess.
Because, like, that's the panel I want to see, is her with the spray paint.
Yeah. Yeah, because, she's at, I guess someplace he's going to speak. What about dealing with drug lords, then trashing, at his private plane or whatever, the truth about kickbacks.
I like how they do little changes of their clothes. Like, I'm just noticing more and more, like, Perry here with the blue pants, blue vest and tie, and Clark with like a purplish shirt with a blue tie.
Yeah, I think they kind of put more thought into it at this point. It's not like the Silver Age where Clark was always in like in a blue suit or whatever.
Yeah, blue suit, red tie.
It's like, they know who Clark Kent is. You don't have to color code him every time. Oh, yeah. That was such a golden age and silver age thing. Yeah, because, like, I know when Kristen and I would read, like, old, like, stories with Dick Grayson, he was always wearing, like, green and red.
They only had, a couple of colors.
Yeah. But, yeah, Forrest is not happy about, all his stuff getting attacked. And, oh, look who he's talking to. Who's he friends with? It's Lex.
Of course.
I mean, there's been a few weeks here. I mean, we haven't seen a lot of Lex, but, man, Lex is coming back big all of a sudden.
With his glove, Phil. His hand.
Yes, he's a big fan of Michael Jackson.
And he is not okay.
Oh, Moyers is like, my former patron, the senator, so I'm assuming, but Forrest was he funding Moyers? Now he's not, so Moyers.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Yep. So Moyers is basically just twirling his mustache saying, I have you under my control.
I like how we get Clark and Kat are inside the ballroom. And he says to her, haven't you had enough wine?
Oh, yep.
Like after last time where,
Perich shoot her out, yeah.
So, but we have.
So, yeah, basically it's a Forrest speech or whatever, or an event. And, it's all of a sudden a car gets thrown through a wall.
I love this effect in comics right here in the panel with the crushed car where, like, it's Clark kind of like in shadow or like ghosting as we see like to represent the super speed, and he changes into Superman.
Yeah.
I always like that little effect.
He basically runs into a bush and changes,
Seems like.
So, he runs outside. He's like, there's a line of totaled limos. And then, he sees Rampage just whipping cars around.
Yeah, with her metal gloves and boots and awesome hair.
So, Superman's trying to subdue her. And he's like, what's that, some kind of earphone?
Pulls it out. Boom. This is he's like, Kitty, someone is using ultrasonics to control you. Try to fight it. Don't touch the rail.
Oh, yeah, because they get knocked down into the subway. But, well, first Superman tries to absorb her power like last time, but, there's some kind of feedback.
My God, she's getting bigger. That collar must be letting her absorb energy from the power grid.
Yep.
The entire subway system.
And he's like, I can't just let her absorb power. He's like, eventually she's going to have some limit. She's just going to blow up.
I actually really like the next page when you hear Rampage's earphone, how in the oh no, and then you like see Superman stepping in where he's all like, you see the red in his boot and it's all like black, like he's in the shadow. And he's like, Moyers. I like that. And then there's Rampage now, like 4 feet taller, 6 feet taller.
Yeah, because he's basically Moyers is saying to Superman, you can't prove a thing, and so when Rampage grabs him and says, I can.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, she's a good couple feet taller than Moyers and Superman. But I guess what did they?
Moyers just like freaking out and yelling.
They shorted out that regulator around her neck that Moyers was using the controller.
So, basically, I just love that you're going to make the adjustments that you need to make Dr. Faulkner normal, or else. It's like 1 week later.
And yes, Forrest has lost, I guess, possible indictment in wake of scandal.
And we got Kent in his suit with a vest. I'm guessing that's Jimmy taking the picture.
Yeah, and yes, Kitty Faulkner has accepted a job at Star Labs. Oh yeah,
and then,
Clark said he was out covering Forrest's withdrawal speech.
Yeah, it took a little bit longer than he thought.
Yeah.
I thought for a second that she knew he was Superman because the way she says the real thing should go to Superman for telling me the story. But that's Clark, saying that, and she's like, maybe so, but since Superman's not around, I was like, wait, okay, let me reread that.
Oh yeah, well, she's just happy the way Clark handled the story in the paper, her story.
And I like the goodbye, Kitty, have a good life. I love the final panel. Like, I really like the art in this one.
Yeah. I love how she's like, oh yeah, she studied Moyer's design and was able to design like a smaller, lighter version. Can we wear it under my clothing? I'll never have to worry about going on a rampage. It's like, okay.
He's like, sure. What happens if something happens to that collar? The battery dies. You just get mad, take it off. There might be some scenarios.
Especially in a comic universe. It's like why don't you just step into a horror movie and say, I'll be right back.
But I love that, like with the, Kent, does my heart good to see someone bounce back the way she has. There goes one tough lady. That she is, Chief. That she most certainly is. Perry ain't mad that Clark called him Chief. But I like the shadow of Superman in the back. This is, if you think about like this tonally compared to the last one that we read, it's like this is a, I don't want to say happy-go-lucky, but this is a Superman that's more upbeat and like he's, you know.
Yeah, we don't see him obsessed about the Phantom Zone criminal stuff.
Yeah. And if you notice, there's no Lois in this issue either. At all.
That's what I was thinking for a while. Yeah, I mean, we kind of for a while here. I mean, it's been kind of light on Lois. Even when she shows up, she's not in it a lot.
So, but I think I might like this issue better. I don't know. I like them both actually, but maybe this one. I don't know. I like the art a lot too for this one.
Oh yeah, and again, Kerry Gamble. Yeah, I love his Superman stuff.
It's good stuff.
Oh yeah, but yeah, I mean they're both good. But yeah, you're right. I mean it's like tonally it's so different, but they'll come together here soon. Had you read these before? We read these.
Some, not all of them. That's why when you brought the idea of doing this, I was more excited because it gave me more reason to just sit back and go through them all. Because you know, it's like sometimes you're like, oh, I think I've read this, but you know, certain older comics like this were so hit and miss, or find them in a trade. Or you end up buying the same comic like multiple times without realizing it because they put it in different trades. Yeah. Or they change the cover art for it and like, oh, I don't have this one. And then you're like, wait, yeah, I do.
That's like a few of these I had to get like later on because it's like at this point when these were coming out, I was at the mercy of like the newsstand or the spinner racks and like the supermarket. So it's like if you didn't get there, you know, they might have been gone. Yeah.
You know, and even though these issues that we're talking about today aren't on the app.
Well, one isn't.
Yeah. I still like the app have like the ability to just read.
Yes.
And read a lot and read mostly in order.
I mean, I know I'm an old man, but I'm just like, anytime I open the app and it's like pointing me to the newer stuff, I'm like, no, point these people to some of the older stuff, like this stuff.
Yeah, like
the stuff that isn't reprinted in 20 trades, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I have my own weirdness with the app. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes I'll try to open stuff and the app just shuts down on me a few times.
Well, even that, like James and I were doing a look at a certain Superman error, and I go and it's like I hit. You know, you can check issues, volumes, omnibus, and I hit volumes, and there's only there was like no volume 1, it was volume 2, 3, 4, 5. Then it skips down to like when they reboot the book with volume 1, and I'm like, what? If you have all the individual issues, why are you're a digital app? Why can't you collect all of them into the trade volumes? It doesn't make sense, but whatever.
Or again, when DC and Marvel had the same problem. It's like when you have gaps in issues, like these Adventures of Superman. There's like 5 missing. It's like you have the stuff beforehand, you have the stuff afterhand. What happened to that big gap there in the middle?
Yeah, like what is the issue with not having the book? So I just want to read the books, people. Just want to read these books.
And again, I recommend reading them. You know, again, I love this era.
It's like I said, it's really rich for adapting. Because I think they do a really good job of building the world of Metropolis. So
wait till we get the triangle numbers. I mean, then there was basically a book every week.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Phil will be like, get ready to read a lot.
I mean, I'm not saying it was ever perfect, but like just the incredible job like 4 different creative teams had to do every month to kind of make it seem like almost like a weekly book, you know, 1 weekly book.
I mean, that's really, to me, the hats off to the editing team.
Oh yeah.
Of keeping track of that and making sure that all of it's working like it's supposed to.
And too, it's just like I think like they even said like the Superman teams, the Batman teams, even like when Spider-Man got the 4 books, that like the Spider-Man teams, like all the creators would get together at least once a year and they would like, you know, plot out the entire year and be like, okay, here's what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to do. You know, you're going to get part 1, you're going to get part 2, and this has to happen in part 2. Yeah.
You'd have to.
Yeah.
There'd be too many inconsistencies.
Oh yeah, like take Death of Superman. It's like, okay, well this is what you guys have to do in action. Then we're going to jump over to Man of Steel. Okay, Louise, you and John are going to have to do this. And
yeah. Like I said, what we're doing right now is fun because we're looking at just certain aspects of how trades and stuff works and how sometimes they work great and sometimes they don't.
Yes.
Especially when you get a volume of a individual character, but that volume consists of stories that crossed over into another person's book and they don't have those issues. So you're like, just kind of like, okay, I'm just going to jump around and figure this out.
That's another thing. Back in the day, we didn't get renumbered books, kids. You know, we jumped in on something at issue 200 or 300. We just went with it. We're like, okay.
Yeah.
Stuff happened beforehand.
You're like, okay, I'll figure this out. Previously on Superman.
Exactly. All right. Anything else, Tyler?
No, I think that's it.
All right, kids. So yes, next 2 weeks, Kristen will be back for Nightwing News. But then when we come back next month, you're going to get 3 episodes because there's an extra week. So you're going to get 3 episodes and talk about something different. The first episode, we're going to do Superman Annual 2, reintroducing Cadmus. And along with Superman Annual 2, we're going to do Swamp Thing 79 with a big appearance by Superman.
Yeah.
And then week 2, we'll do Adventures of Superman 447 and 448 and Superman 25 with the return of Brainiac again.
Sounds fun. Like, I'm excited.
Yes. And then, like I said, 3 next month. So, yeah, then we'll start the first week of our 2-week Invasion series. We'll cover Invasion 1 and 2, Superman 26, where we'll finally get to that voodoo thing, and Adventures of Superman 449. All right. So... getting closer.
All right.
Getting closer to we'll get Invasion, but getting closer to Exile when Justin will return for Exile.
Yeah, he's out. Like I told Phil, he's out working his nest.
Yes. He's
washing his tights.
It's me, your old pal, the Owl.
All right. So send us your thoughts on this week's stuff, the upcoming stuff. I mean, if you got an episode 2 episodes ago, send us your thoughts on those past issues. We'll talk them. We'll talk about your thoughts. Email us, CapesandLunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail, 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you can find all things Capes and Lunatics, episodes, social media, merchandise. Get your new Capes and Lunatics merchandise with the new logos. Rain ran the money on us through the Cash App link. And, of course, the Patreon, where you get something different every month. It's crazy, it's wild, it's uncensored, so find it all at tubespace.io/Capes and Lunatics Podcast Network. It's tubespace.io/Capes and Lunatics Podcast Network. I know it's a long link, but it's down there in the show notes.
More vicious and brutal than ever.
All right. And you want to hear Tyler talk more Superman. So, Tyler, where can they hear you talk more? Besides your house, where can they hear you talk more Superman?
Well, you can come over to the house. You can catch me on Krypton Report, wherever you get your podcasts, Krypton Report is. And that's where I'll be talking Superman and all things Kryptonian. There goes my little Supergirl.
I saw her. She's moving at super speed, but I saw her. And, should we do Justin's plugs again? Yes. Justin will be back.
Damn Charge, the strongest podcast.
The strongest Marvel podcast that there is. Will kill us. Yes, where him and Russell talk the Incredible Hulk and the Sensational She-Hulk. Then he is also on Predator and Prey, the Ucha podcast with, everyone's favorite Australian, Ray himself.
Gobble, gobble.
So, yes, check them out there. Oh, and the Lost Library of Legends, Justin's solo show where he talks about maybe comic series that people have forgotten or maybe never heard of, especially I know he's been concentrating on a bunch of 90s stuff lately, so check that out.
We're going back to the 90s here, bitch.
I just want to play the drops.
Yes.
All right. Thank you for joining us, everyone. Again, next time, Superman Annual 2 and Swamp Thing 79, both on the DC Infinite app. And if you thought Lex was... I read ahead. If you think Lex was evil this week, wait till that Swamp Thing issue.
Just wait. Lex is always evil.
In that mature reader's content book, yes. See how evil Lex can get. Heck, I think there's more Superman in that Swamp Thing issue than there is Swamp Thing.
Ooh.
All right, so join us next time. Remember to come back for truth, justice, and the mullet way. But stay calm till then. Don't go on a rampage.